You ever go to a brand new doctor and the moment he walks in, you're like, no. I was sitting there, I'm nervous enough. Doctor walks in, all the buttons on his lab coat were off by one. If he can't nail that task, I don't think I want his doctor paws on me. And I know this is gonna sound like I'm making this up. This is the absolute truth. He was late. I don't get that. I don't get why it's okay for the doctor to be late. If I have a 2 o'clock appointment, I want the doctor looking at me at 2 o'clock. And the only way I think it would be okay for the doctor to be late is if at 5 of 2, you're in the waiting room and you notice from under the door that leads to the back rooms, a pool of blood. I think we might be delayed. Then it would be okay for him to be 5 minutes late. Clamp whatever's doing that and get me back there. I want to hear a clamp noise and him saying, my 2 o'clock is here.
Rosen at 6:09 at WRJN Radio. Good to have you on board here at Civic Media's Hometown Radio. Refreshed. Looking for a beautiful forecast here. Sunny with a high near 41 today. Clear tonight, lows 27. Sunny tomorrow with a high near 50. 50, you heard right. You believe this is almost winter? I can't believe it. This is December. I love it. I'm not a big fan of cold weather. I like it right in the middle. Fall weather is perfect for me. I don't like summer. I don't like winter. I like fall and spring when it's right in the middle. Yeah. This is a nice forecast. Right now, a clear sky, 23 degrees. I don't know what's flying around up there. I didn't see the moon this morning. We must have a new moon where it's all darkened out. But it's a clear sky. You can see the stars shining bright. And I always say you never know what you're going to see when you look into the sky. You could see shooting stars, satellites flying by. You could see a lot of stuff. About a month and a half ago, maybe 2 months ago, I saw the space station overhead. There's a, well, I put it this way. A friend of mine keeps track of all this stuff, and she puts it on Facebook when things are going to go flying over Racine or southeast Wisconsin. And the space station went over. It goes real fast, and you can hear it. Bzzz, you can hear it buzzing as it goes over. But she gives you the exact time It's going to fly over Racine. And the same thing with the satellites. You can give the exact time, and you can see them on a clear night. And when all the satellites went by, it was like a big whoosh of white going across the sky. But again, you have to have a clear sky for that kind of stuff, like tonight. But there's no satellites out there right now. Generally, it happens about 9 o'clock at night, or maybe 10 o'clock or a little earlier, around that time in the early evening. And it's really nice. My wife and I, in this past fall, saw the Parade of Planets. You have to get out to a nice clear area. We went out way into the county, and we parked in somebody's driveway. They weren't home. We parked in somebody's driveway right near a farm field, and you saw the Parade of Planets across the sky. I think there were like 7 of them, 7 or 8 of the planets, and they were right in a line. And if you really want to see the sky, go to the observatories in Yorkville. They're private. They do them for private clubs. However, a couple of times a year, they open it up to the public, and you can see in that giant telescope of theirs. They take you right into the moon, the planets, in the skies, everything. And if you have kids, they will love it, looking in these giant telescopes that take you right onto the moon. You can actually see the craters almost in 3D. That's how nice it is. So what brought this all up, there's a clear sky now. Take a look outside. You never know what you're going to see flying by. And enjoy it. All right, newspapers are not doing well these days. Like a lot of things, tastes are changing, things are changing, and newspapers are changing. So the Arizona Daily Star newspaper did something fun for the holidays and probably increased a little bit of their circulation at the same time. One page of each issue is free wrapping paper. They're doing it every day this week. They did it last week as well. Each day has a different design done by a local artist in Tucson. Now, I don't know if it's newsprint wrapping paper, which I assume it is. They can't put a real piece of wrapping paper in there. But still, nice way to increase circulation. All right, the 2024 Golden Globe nominees were announced. And I have the movie categories here for Best Movie Drama and Movie Musical or Comedy. I got to tell you, I'm one of the biggest movie fans out there, and I think I've heard of 4 or 5 of these. That's it. I don't know where they're getting these movies from. All right, here are the nominees for Best Movie Drama. Anatomy of a Fall. I never heard of it. Killers of the Flower Moon. I saw that picture. Maestro, which stars Bradley Cooper as Leonard Bernstein, which I don't think is out yet. It's one of those movies that probably comes out Christmas Day just in time. Oppenheimer, which, you know what? I wasn't that thrilled with when I saw it. I thought it would be different, a different kind of movie. Past Lives, never heard of it. The Zone of Interest, I never heard of it. We have to ask Brett Hoffman when he comes in on Friday. Did you ever hear of any of these movies? Best Movie Musical or Comedy, Air, which I think I heard of. American Fiction, never heard of that. Barbie, The Holdovers, I heard of The Holdovers. May, December, and Poor Things, I never heard of those last 2 films. Now, I don't know if these are streaming movies like on Apple or Netflix, because now they're including all those. They didn't used to. You had to be in a theater for at least a week, a major theater. You couldn't stick it in some small town in Ohio. You had to be in a major theater in Manhattan or Los Angeles or Chicago in order to pull this off. But I never heard of any of those films. Now, the TV ones were also announced, but I never heard of any of the TV shows. I don't know what. I think they're streaming shows, and I don't have streaming. I have Netflix, but I don't watch it. It's a long story how I wound up with Netflix. All right, this question is going viral after a woman claims someone made her the offer for real. They said, "Would you sell your dog for $200,000?" The woman is Alexis Elliott. She recently got a Doberman puppy that's around 6 months old. At least it is now. She claims someone recently offered to buy the dog for $200,000, and she turned them down. So the question is, would you sell your dog or cat for $200,000, or do you agree they feel like your children? You wouldn't sell your kids, would you? For what it's worth, most people on TikTok said they would take the money and sell their pet. Now, this is obviously they're not pet owners. I would never sell my dog. Even if my dog had like a few days to live, I want my dog with me on his last breath. And that's all our dogs were like that. You know, we were with them when they, had to be put to sleep. And we held them around. They laid on the table, or even one was in my arms. He just wanted to hold. I wanted to hold him, and they gave him the injection while I was holding him in my arms. But they're like, would you sell a member of your family, a cat, a dog? I mean, no. Now my pet tarantula, if they wanted $200,000, I don't have a pet tarantula, but if I did, I might sell that. It's 6:16 at WRJN. A very pleasant good morning. I'm Don Rosen, and we are at 1400 AM. We're also at 99.9 FM in Racine and 98.1 FM in Kenosha. Somebody asked me about our FM frequencies. It's a long, involved explanation that you probably wouldn't understand. But the Federal Communications Commission allowed AM radio stations to get these FM signals if we broadcast exactly what's on the AM station on their FM frequencies. That's how we got them. I had like 4 people asking me already about that. Well, that's how it happens. An expert claims these are the 8 habits, the top 8 habits of the happiest people in the world. Now, I guess they searched the earth to find out, and this is what they said. So if you want to be happy, you might want to write these down. Sleep at least 8 hours a night. I did last night. I got 8 hours sleep. Went to bed early. Eat a plant-based breakfast. I'm not sure what that is. Socialize with friends. I do that a little bit. Volunteer. I volunteer to write stuff on the whiteboard at church. I don't know if that counts. I don't think so. Take naps. Now, that I could do. I have no problem taking naps. Have faith, which I do. Limit TV and social media. And if possible, don't work full time. Well, I can take naps, and I have faith. Those 2 I do. Naps are no problem with me. As a matter of fact, somebody asked me, they said, I would love to take a nap during the day. My boss would see me. You got to do what George Costanza did on Seinfeld. Do you remember the episode? Do you remember where he built that little nook under his desk with a shelf for an alarm clock? So he took naps under his desk when he worked for the New York Yankees. Remember that? It was funny. But you know what? That's not a bad idea. I would have trouble doing it because you'd know if I was napping. Falling because you'd hear me. 6:18 at WRJN Radio. It's Christmas time. Nice time of year. And it's cold enough outside for Christmas. Clear, 23 degrees now. Sunny with a high near 41 today. Clear tonight, lows 27. Sunny tomorrow with a high near 50. I'm Don Rosen. I want to thank you for joining me here this morning. Coming up a little later on, I'll tell you who my guest is at 7:06. She's from the United Way, and she'll be here to talk about your charitable donations and what the United Way is all about. That's coming up.
Outside is frightful, but the fire is so delightful. And since we've no place to go, let it snow, let it snow, let it snow. Man, it doesn't show signs of stopping, and I brought me some corn for popping. The lights are turned way down low. Let it snow, let it snow. When we finally kiss goodnight, how I'll hate going out in the storm. But if you really hold me tight, all the way home I'll be warm. And the fire is slowly dying, and my dear, we're still goodbying. But as long as you love me so, let it snow and snow.
Dean Martin, let it snow. Now don't let it snow. I have some Facebook friends that are always saying, I wish it would snow already. No, I don't wish it would snow already. This is spoken like a person that doesn't have to get on the road at 5 o'clock in the morning. No, not even 5 o'clock. Yeah, 5 o'clock in the morning, yeah. Who wants to do that? Start shoveling at 4 o'clock in the morning to get out of the driveway. No, we don't want it to snow. If you, by the way, I'll just preface this by saying, can you keep a secret? I mean, a secret from everybody? If your bestie told you a secret and said, don't tell anybody, can you do that? Well, if you've been in a serious relationship, you probably struggled with it. Is it acceptable or unacceptable for a person to tell their spouse a secret that a friend told them in confidence? In a new poll, 10% of people say it's always acceptable to tell your spouse a friend's secret. Only 10%. 29% said, nah, it's usually okay. 20% of people say it's never acceptable to reveal secrets, even to your spouse. I tell my wife everything. Now, I don't know if she tells me everything because I don't know. I assume she does, but I'll never know because if she keeps the secret, it's like the perfect crime. You'll never hear about it. So, yeah, I tell her everything. So if you tell me a secret, she's going to know about it. All right? Showbiz News. Hugh Grant says he's gotten too old, too fat, and too ugly to keep making romantic comedies. See, that's why I don't make romantic comedies anymore. Too old, too fat, and too ugly. See, Hugh Grant and I are on the same page with this one. And remember Saw 10 came out, Saw X, Saw 10 in theaters? Well, I bet you didn't see this coming. Saw 11 is on the schedule for next September. That's a shocker, isn't it? All right. A survey had Americans name their favorite holidays. These were the top 10. Let's count them up. Valentine's Day at number 10. Then before that, it's Labor Day. Birthdays, which really isn't a holiday. Memorial Day, number 7. New Year's Eve, Easter in the 4th position, the 4th of July. Halloween, number 3. Thanksgiving, number 1. And to give you an idea how popular the number 1 holiday is, Thanksgiving, only 19% said that was their favorite holiday. 46% said Christmas, number 1, their favorite holiday. Mine is Thanksgiving. I really love Thanksgiving. And I don't know why. It just is. I love Thanksgiving. It's not the food. I think it's the fact that the tradition of watching the parade on TV and watching the dog show after that. They have the national dog shows on. I don't know. It just is. You're with family. And you know what the thing about Thanksgiving is? There's no pressure. Christmas has a lot of pressure to it. You got to get the right gifts. Got to have family over. You got to, it's a partying. It's a lot of pressure, Christmas. Thanksgiving is. There's no pressure on Thanksgiving. People think of it as like the gateway to Christmas. So I like Thanksgiving. Halloween, okay. When I was a kid, I enjoyed it. I enjoy now handing out candy to kids coming to the door, especially the little ones. I mean, I like to see them struggle with their costumes, hand out that little pumpkin bucket and put the candy in it. Thank you. Trick or treat. I love that, too. 4th of July. Yeah, I love the 4th of July parade in Racine. I guess all these holidays are nice. Memorial Day, we always go out to Union Grove on Memorial Day. The American Legion Post has a ceremony there every year. And one year they honored my father-in-law. He is buried in Union Grove, and they honored him. This is not the veteran cemetery, by the way. They honored him with a gun salute on Memorial Day. And we always go out there every Memorial Day. They used to have a parade going from the high school, Union Grove High School, down to the cemetery. But the parade got smaller and smaller and smaller, and now it's really small. It's like 30 seconds when it goes past you. But the feeling is there. Labor Day I like, too. I always like Labor Day. Valentine's Day, of course, you have to say you like that, right? So all those holidays are good. I like them all. Thanksgiving, though, I think is my favorite holiday. When someone says to you, "Do not get me a gift," what do you think they really mean? About half of us think it means they don't want anything, but they'll be upset if you still get them something. 6% think it's a lie, totally. They do want something, and they'll be angry if you don't get them a gift. My mother used to say, "Oh, don't get me anything." No, we got her something. We got... Oh, my father. I loved my dad, but I don't think he got it. Back growing up, I don't know, must have been 9 years old, around there, maybe 10. We go to May's department store where we lived. That was the big department store, May's department store. And he says, I went with him all by myself that day. And he says, "I got the perfect gift to your mother. Look at it." And there it was on the shelf, an electric broom. It was like a mini vacuum cleaner. They called it an electric broom. And I said, "She is going to love that." And my father, this was, 1962, 63, somewhere around there. He said, she's going to love that. And my father bought it, and he wrapped it. And when she opened it up that morning, my mother put a smile on her face, and I think she really did appreciate it. My father meant well, but he got my mother basically a broom for Christmas. When you think about it, I know my father's heart was in the right spot. But, and my brother and I, Mom, what do you think about it? It's an electric broom. Oh, I love it. While everybody else got gifts for, they can enjoy, my mother got an electric broom. My dad's heart was in the right spot, though. A woman just posted a video on how she caught her boyfriend cheating. What do you hear this? His ex's name was actually written on the Starbucks cup. She says she came home. He came home, actually, with a Starbucks cup. He put it down. She noticed the name written on it was Brittany, which was the name of his ex. She says she took him back for a week, but later eventually dumped him for good, which is probably good for all concerned. It was going to be no good after that. You know that, right? All right. We got a clear sky. Right now, we got 23 degrees. We're looking for sunshine today with a high near 41. Tonight, clear, lows 27. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 50. Coming up at 7:06 this morning, Allie Hagg is going to be here. She's the president and CEO of the United Way of Racine County. We'll talk about the United Way and open up your pocketbooks. Get that crowbar in there so we can prize some money out for charities this season. I think the United Way can be taken right out of your paycheck. I'm not sure. We'll ask her about that. And we'll find out how they use the money. I think you might be surprised. 6:29 at WRJN Radio.
Hanukkah is the festival of lights. Instead of one day of presents, we have 8 crazy nights. When you feel like the only kid in town without a Christmas tree, here's a list of people who are Jewish, just like you and me. David Lee Roth lights the menorah. So do James Conn, Kirk Douglas, and the late Dinah Shore. Guess who eats together at the Carnegie Deli? Bowser from Sha-Na-Na and Arthur Fonzarelli. Paul Newman's half Jewish, Goldie Hawn's half too. Put them together, what a fine-looking Jew. You don't need Deck the Halls or Jingle Bell Rock, 'cause you can spin a dreidel with Captain Kirk and Mr. Spock, both Jewish. Put on your yarmulke, it's time for Hanukkah. The owner of the Seattle Supersonicas celebrates Hanukkah. O.J. Simpson, not a Jew. But guess who is? Hall of Famer Rod Carew. He converted. We got Ann Landers and her sister, dear Abby. Harrison Ford's a quarter Jewish, not too shabby. Some people think that Ebenezer Scrooge is. Well, he's not, but guess who is? All three Stooges. So many Jews are in showbiz. Tom Cruise isn't, but I heard his agent is. Tell your friend Veronica Hanukkah. It's time to celebrate Hanukkah. Oh, boy, get a harmonica on this lovely, lovely Hanukkah. So drink your gin and tonica and smoke your marijuana. If you really Hanukkah, have a happy, 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 happy Hanukkah. Happy Hanukkah.
I love that song. There's actually a second part to that song. He did a second part to it as well. Adam Sandler. Tonight, 7th night of Hanukkah. Lighting those candles. Tonight will be the 7th candle you light if you're lighting a menorah, or screwing the bulbs in if you do the electric ones. 6:37 at WRJN. I'm Don Rosen. I want to thank you for joining me. Clear, 23 degrees right now in Racine. Today, sunny with a high near 41. Tonight, clear, lows around 27. Tomorrow, sunny again. Highs near 50. You put that winter coat away for a day or two, huh? 50? I can wear my spring jacket at 50. That's no problem. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll be talking to Allie Hagg. Allie is the president and CEO of the United Way of Racine County, the first female leader in the organization's history. Be talking to Allie coming up at 7:06 this morning here at WRJN Radio. A lot of people are asking me about the anniversary show. They missed it. Well, we did it on December 6th. But you can hear it again on December 25th. We'll be running it Christmas morning between 6 and 8 o'clock. Or if you just want to hear the podcast, you can at civicmedia.us, or just go to WRJN.com. On the pull-down menu, hit shows, scroll up to scroll down to Don Rosen, and you'll see it there as well. So many ways to hear it. But people are asking about the anniversary show, and that's how you hear it. All right, we found a list of helpful websites you might not know about. Here's one called myfridgefood.com. What they do is they suggest recipes for all those things you got laying around in your fridge for years. Gethuman.com. You type in the name of a company, it gives you a customer service number that an actual human will answer the phone. If you have to go through a robot, it tells you which buttons to push. Interesting. JustWatch.com. You enter a movie or show, and it tells you the streaming service platforms that it's currently playing on. And the last one's an app. And we got this one from Brett Hoffman of Marcus Theaters. The app is called Run P. The reason it's called that is you go on the app, you type in the movie, and they'll tell you what time in the movie you can go to the bathroom in the theater if you have to really make a bathroom run. And you won't miss anything important. It's a good website. Runpee, RUNPEE. That's an app, though. It's not a website. It's actually an app. 24-year-old woman posted on TikTok recently how angry she got with her dating app called Hinge. They set her up with the perfect match. Her brother. I don't blame her for getting angry. Business Insider put out a list of the 45 most successful Christmas movies of all time. These are not adjusted for inflation. Number 5, Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. The Polar Express, still one of my favorites. Number 4. Dr. Seuss's The Grinch That Stole Christmas is number 3. How the Grinch Stole Christmas is number 2. And number 1, from 1990, made $285.8 million. Home Alone. Notice how Die Hard wasn't on the list there. Most workers think they're great employees, but you might be annoying to your boss on a daily basis without even realizing it. Here's a list from AskMen.com of the top 4 habits that are irritating your boss. Not showing initiative or showing too much initiative. Got to be right in the middle, I guess. Making excuses for everything you do. Complaining too much. And asking too many questions. Like, when can I get my raise? I guess that would be one of them, huh? Here's a list of the top fights caused by dogs. Now, dogs are not really fighting. It's caused by their presence. For example, what to do with a dog when you're going out. Who should walk the dog? Whether the dog should be allowed on the bed. Whether the dog should be allowed upstairs. Who should clean up the dog poop in the backyard. I will tell you how unimportant those are. Because after your dog passes on, you're going to wish that all those problems came back again. There was a meme somebody showed on there, and it was the woman opening the door to a room, and 2 dogs just tore the room apart. And everything was all over the place. There were pillows, and the dogs were looking there with their tongue out, almost smiling at her. They were having a great time. The next picture, the room was clean. Everything in its place. But the dogs were gone at this point. So all these things, I'm telling you, I was a dog owner my entire life from when I was a year and a half old until last year. I always had dogs in my life. And when they go, all these problems, you wish you were back again. So here are two things. Now, on a happier note, here are two things that movies and TV shows always get wrong about the workplace. When people get fired. Now, in the movies and TV, it's usually spontaneous and dramatic. In most cases, the boss flips out about one specific thing, then fires the person on the spot. But in reality, companies can't do that. They have to worry about wrongful termination lawsuits. So what they do is they talk about it. Everything is planned out. The employees brought in and read a statement, and that's how they get let go. Not like the movies. You're fired. I've never been involved in anything like that. More people get sick this time of year than any other time. Oh, wait, I take that back. Well, no, it was thought out. I wound up firing the person. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, no, it wasn't a you're fired thing. Most people get sick this time of year more than any other time of the year. But eating the right things can help you stay healthy. If you're a fitness nut, you know this stuff already, but for the rest of us, here are the 6 breakfast foods that help boost your immune system. Blueberries, pumpkin seeds, eggs, papayas, lemons, and kiwi. Out of that list, eggs, the only thing I'll eat. I don't have pumpkin seeds for breakfast. Papayas, who's got a papaya for breakfast? And kiwi fruit. Do people eat kiwis for breakfast? Oh, but there was one more thing I forgot to mention here. In the things that movie and TV shows always get wrong, I said there were 2 of them. Here's the other one. If you own 51% of the company, you can do whatever you want with it, right? Wrong. The truth is most corporations, and some states have laws about this, require a 2/3 majority vote before you can do anything major like sell the company. Yeah, you just can't do that. I own 51%, I'll do whatever I want. Nah, it doesn't work like that. All right, there's more of a regifting epidemic going around these days than we realize. Now, according to a new survey, 52% of people will regift something this Christmas. That means a majority of us are passing on a gift we didn't like to someone else. Maybe we don't like them either. Here are the top things we're regifting. Socks, underwear, toiletries, candles, picture frames, CDs, clothing, jewelry, foods, especially fruitcake. Those things get passed around. I only heard there was only one ever made, and it just keeps getting passed around. Books, too. I just threw out a ton of books the other day. I feel so bad about that. They were picture coffee table books. I just dumped them in they were just, you have to clean up occasionally. And some of them got wet from a leak. But they were still in great shape, but I threw them out. I should have regifted them. Socks and underwear. Maybe, if it's still in the package and brand new, maybe. But once you open that package, you own the underwear for life. You can't regift that. I mean, that's yours forever. All right. You ever do a gift exchange at the office? If you're doing a Secret Santa gift exchange at work, your best case scenario is a gift card. Your worst case scenario is, well, literally anything else, especially stuff like this. These are the weirdest things people have ever received from a coworker at a gift exchange at the office. A squirrel toilet seat decal. A roll of duct tape. A giant heart box-shaped of candy left over from Valentine's Day. Oh, that must have tasted good. A picture of a bear, a bowling ball, a bell on a string, a ceramic sheep with different outfits, and homemade sausages. The survey also found 54... homemade sausages may not be bad. The survey also found 54% of companies plan on giving their employees a holiday bonus this year. Attention, everybody. Holiday bonuses. Yeah, I don't think I ever got a holiday bonus before. No, never did. No, never did. I was just thinking. Nope, never did. All right, what else I got for you here this morning? Let's see. Oh, it's a pretty important thing to know. These, it's shocking that people don't know a little bit about, it's not trivia, but general knowledge. For example, it's important to know where the Grand Canyon is, not just because it's super basic knowledge, but you don't want to fall in. A survey found 70% of Americans say they have a pretty strong knowledge about our national landmarks, but they're wrong. Let's check it out. 60% do not know the Hoover Dam is between Nevada and Arizona. 57% don't know the Grand Canyon's in Arizona. 37% don't know the Space Needle is in Seattle. 32% don't know Alcatraz is in San Francisco. 6% have no idea the Empire State Building is in New York City. 3% have no idea Times Square is located in New York City. And 3% don't know the White House is in Washington, D.C. For the 3% that don't know the White House is in Washington, D.C., I don't think we should give them sharp objects, ever. They can't handle that. Christmas just a couple of days away now, which means you have just a couple of days until you really have to start worrying about buying people's presents. A survey found 30% of people haven't started their shopping yet, including yours truly. I know what I'm getting. I just haven't purchased them yet. And they won't get on it until next week. They're the extreme case. Only 9% of people have ever bought any last-minute gifts. Here are the top 5 reasons why we procrastinate. 44% weren't sure what to get the person. Okay, I understand that. 30% got busy and ran out of time. 21% wanted to see how much money they had left. What, until Christmas Eve? 21% got a gift from a person and weren't expecting it, so they had to go scramble at the last moment to get one. And 21% said they forgot. How do you forget? Come on. How do you forget? It's Christmas. How do you forget to buy the gift for somebody? Come on. I don't believe that one at all. I'm Don Rosen. I want to thank you for joining us here this morning. It's 6:48 at WRJN. Sunshine today with a high near 41. Clear tonight. Lows around 27. Tomorrow sunny with a high near 50. Clear and 23 degrees right now. This is Civic Media Radio, WRJN. We're at 1400 AM, 99.9 FM in Racine, 98.1 FM in Kenosha. Hometown Radio, refreshed.
Children sleeping, snow is softly falling, dreams are calling, like bells in the distance. We were dreamers not so long ago, but one by one we all had to grow up. When it seems the magic slipped away, we find it all again on Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying. Hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste. There's so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside and give your dreams the wings to fly. You have everything you need if you just believe. Trains move quickly to the journey's end. Destinations are where we begin again. Ships go sailing far across the sea, trusting starlight to get where they need to be. When when it seems that we have lost our way, we find ourselves again on Christmas Day. Believe in what your heart is saying, hear the melody that's playing. There's no time to waste, there's so much to celebrate. Believe in what you feel inside and give your dreams the wings to fly. You have everything you need if you just believe. If you just believe.
That's Josh Groban from the movie The Polar Express.
Just believe.
It's become a Christmas classic, The Polar Express, always on television.
Just believe.
I love that movie. I have it in 3D. Yeah, I have a 3D version of the film. It's an excellent movie. It takes a while to get used to the animation. It's that where they hook real actors up to electrodes and they do the acting. It's a good movie, though. Tom Hanks, 5 roles in that film. And, of course, the music is great, too. I'm Don Rosen. Thanks for joining us here at 654 at WRJN Radio. And now some news headlines. This is what's happening in the news from Stuart J. Wattles in our news center, our news director, supplying the news this morning. In Kenosha, 6 school buildings are set to close, with Ruther being saved. The school board last night voted to shut down 5 elementary schools and a middle school, including Bain, Jefferson, McKinley, Stoker, Vernon, and Lincoln. Washington Middle School will move operations out of the Sheridan Road location into the Bain building. Ruther will stay open, however, with a reduction in staff. The district superintendent said the closures are necessary due to a $15 million budget deficit. The changes are expected to save $8 million. Some parents had hoped Kenosha Unified would seek additional funding before making any decisions about closing the schools. The body of a teenager in Lake County has been recovered from a pond in Vernon Hills. The search effort for 17-year-old Brissa Romero involved sonar equipment from fire departments throughout the county and McHenry County. In November, year-to-year, home sales in Racine County saw a 20% decline. Kenosha County saw a 15% decrease, and Walworth County's home sales were down by 23%. The Realtors Report is emphasizing the urgent need for more property listings in the market. Despite higher interest rates, the demand for homes remains strong. In a federal indictment, a 41-year-old Racine man has been charged with purchasing high-powered rifles for smuggling across the southern border. The indictment against Victor Kobian alleges the smuggling occurred from December 2017 to around March of 2019. The investigation into the trafficking network began after a rifle traced back to a store in Racine was discovered by Mexican police in Guadalajara. And the Kenosha City Administrator wants another job representing the county. John Morrissey, who's been the city administrator for Kenosha since June of 2020, has officially announced his candidacy for the county board's 9th district. The current seat holder, Supervisor John O'Day, will be stepping down after almost 30 years of service. As of now, no other candidates have expressed interest in running for the district. Morrissey is a former chief of the Kenosha Police Department. That's what's making news this morning. Stuart J. Wattles put that together in our news department. He'll be updating those stories and more throughout the entire day right here at WRJN Radio, where it's 6:57. Well, we've got a clear sky right now. We've got 23 degrees. Today's sunshine with a high near 41. Tonight, clear. Lows around 27. Tomorrow, sunny with a high near 50. Coming up at 7:06 this morning, in just a few minutes from now, we're going to be talking to Allie Hagg. She is the president and CEO of the Racine United Way of Racine County. So we'll be talking to her coming up 7:06 this morning, and she'll tell the needs for the money, what she does with the money, or what United Way does with the money. And I think you'll be surprised on how far United Way stretches out in helping organizations and people in our own county. So that's coming up. Don't move. Stay right where you are. 6:57 at WRJN Radio. Hometown Radio. Refreshed.